just want to remind you some of the great minds that have inspired me as well in coming up to this learning system. Jean Piaget, which always said, working and playing, that's what kids want to do. There are no empty containers to fill. They're discovering. Jean Piaget stated that children are like little scientists. They observe, they experiment. And of course, I have to always tell my sons that, no, don't pull out those legs from the grasshopper again. You've done it once, you know he can't jump anymore. You know, we have to guide them in what not to do. And so I buy them a big magnifying glass. My son now goes around, he's 2 next week, he goes around with a big magnifying glass. Because even his eyes are good, but when he sees the huge head of a grillo, a grasshopper, he's like, wow. Experimenting. We have to allow our kids to observe. Because we move too fast to the experimentation. We're under too much pressure from the school program where we have to do these experiments now. But first you have to do observation. You have to see it. You know, I always thought it was very interesting with magnetism. We are forced immediately to do magnets. Why don't you go in nature and find your magnets first? Who in nature is using magnetism? And when the children find magnetism, then the magnets make so much more sense. And do a bit of meditation before you do experimentation. But you should just take a moment to think and observe and enjoy. And what happens in the mind of the child is the fantasy is processing. Because when they see magnets working in nature, then they say, oh, fantastic. So the fantasy gets going, and then of course we, thanks to the observation and experimentation, can move fantasy to vision. John Dewey, the great pedagogue, taught us how to learn by doing. You learn so much more by doing it than people talking about it. We have become too much of a talk shop. Karen McGowan, who knows her? The Nova School in California. Who knows? I mean, that's where all the top guys in Silicon Valley went to Nova School, including Steve Jobs. All the top guys in Silicon Valley went to one high school, and no one knows the high school. Amazing. No one knows the lady who founded the high school. Because this lady, Karen McGowan, she is the one who is the master of emotional intelligence. And the capacity to create this incredible set of powerhouses in Silicon Valley is not because they just have the great technology. They have a way of bringing great teams together from all around the world. And since you're able to work so good in teams, get the best out of everyone, no one was trained into that. Everyone had this emotional intelligence, taking the best of the energies of everyone. And so, academic results are important. But if the children have the capacity to deal with their own emotions, and if the children know how to deal with the emotions of someone else, then the children will be much better academically as well. And Fritjof Capra, you know him? Ecoliteracy. I mean, Fritjof, but it's quite surprising that Fritjof has the Center for Ecoliteracy in Berkeley, California. There are only 3 schools in California applying it. Only 3 schools. But it's very important to me, this ecoliteracy, this interconnected thinking. I learned that from Fritjof. And I know Fritjof is a very dear friend of mine, and we worked together for many years. We wrote a book together many years ago. And Karen McGowan was the first person to do a complete review of my 36 fables. She reviewed them all from the angle of emotional intelligence. So John Dewey, I didn't know him. He was dead before I was born. And Jean Piaget, I've only worked with some of his students because there's still the Piaget Center in Geneva. And actually, all the Waldorf schools in the United States use my fables, one or the other way. Because they're the ones who, of course, already inclined to this way of thinking. Learning in systems. You see, the reason why I spend so much time on the fables, because I have other ways I will introduce you to teaching. But one of the reasons why I spend so much time on the systems is because I know that if we do it at a young age, it becomes part of that long-term memory. You know, we have too much in our schooling system that is a short-term memory only. In, out. In, out. Exam in the middle. And so what I'm trying to do with the fables is, because of the system that is being created, it stays with them. It stays forever. And when they see the bigger picture, the context, and the overall situation, then the detailed knowledge in the science will be more relevant. And what we're working on is really generating questions. We don't generate the answers. Answers you find in Google. But in order to get to Google, you need to have the questions. So I'm spending much more time with the children, so the children will start asking more questions, and unfortunately the teacher will ask the question that the student is supposed to answer. Put up his hand and answer. No, 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 no. The teacher stimulates the children to ask